Hi, Angie with McNulty Coaching Services, and I want to talk to you today about personal finance. When I'm coaching people, we look at the whole picture of you to see what may be out of balance. We look at like finance and health, family, career, spirituality, several different areas to see where you're at and how you can get further satisfaction out of that area in your life. And we will do, it's called the Wheel of Life, and we will do that on another video, so I can walk you through that. But the last probably month or two, I've had a lot of people coming to me and asking me for help on their personal finance. So for me, I use the Dave Ramsey method, and I have used so many different ways to get myself out of debt and onto a better financial path. There's lots of different theories out there. I try doing paying off your highest interest first, paying off your biggest debt first, and then or doing your 3 months, which is like $10,000 to $15,000 in your emergency fund. And all of those things that I tried were so overwhelming that they just never worked. I mean, they would work for like a month or two, and then an emergency would happen. Like I'd have to take the dog to the vet or something. And it just never worked for me. And I would get so discouraged, and then what would I do? I'd just go use a credit card and be like, well, I'm just going to be in debt forever, so whatever. Until I was introduced to Dave Ramsey. And I believe wholeheartedly in his method, and that's why I suggest it to other people. So, as a disclaimer before we move forward, I am not a financial advisor. I have no training in finance. This is my own personal beliefs and how I do my own finances. So, please take that into consideration as I'm saying these things to you. And I'm going to encourage you, if you like what I'm talking about, to go to Dave Ramsey's website and look at all of his, he calls them the baby steps, which I also love because we talk about baby steps in life coaching too. Because if you do baby steps, it's going to get you where you need to go. So his first baby step is to put $1,000 in the bank. And the idea with that is that most emergencies can be handled with $1,000. So that way, as you are working towards getting out of debt, if something arises, you're not having to use more debt for your emergency. Which, this is where I fell in love with the plan. Because it was, at the time, $1,000 was a lot of money. I'm like, how in the world am I going to have $1,000 in the bank? Like, I probably have like $10 in there. But you can do this quickly. How quickly can you do it? I challenge you to get $1,000 in the bank in 30 days, in a month. You can do this. Find things to sell. Look at all your expenses. Where can you cut expenses? Can you take an extra shift? Can you get some overtime? Can you babysit? I don't know. Go deliver pizzas. Do something to get that $1,000 in the bank as quickly as possible. Now, I don't know about you, but I have been loving Marie Kondo and have been going through my whole house, every closet, all the kids' toys, the kitchen, like every single room. I have had to focus on a closet or a single room every day to go through everything. And I can't tell you how many trips I've taken to the Goodwill. And I also have a pile set aside for sale. So, if you are Marie Kondoing, then I'm sure you have some items that you have found to be able to sell. Okay. So that's baby step one, getting $1,000 in the bank. Now, I might switch it up a little bit because I think the other really important thing is creating your financial plan. And he teaches this as well, But the very first thing I would do, so make this your baby step one, is to create a financial plan. You need to tell your money where it needs to go. Because how many times have you got paid, 2 weeks later, you're like, where the heck did all that money go? And you have no idea. You have no idea where that money went. So what I started doing was created a really simple spreadsheet. You can do it any way you want. Also, I found Dave Ramsey has a free app. It's called Every Dollar app by Dave Ramsey. I just started using this, so I don't know a lot about it, but I think it's going to be awesome. So you can also do it on an app if you prefer to do that. But the idea is that when you get your paycheck, what I do on my spreadsheet is I put how much money we got. I have all my expenses in a column on the left. And then, so like we get paid every 2 weeks, right? All my expenses on the left, a column for each paycheck. And beside each expense, I put when the due date is. So I know which check it needs to come out of. So then I just start putting in, okay, mortgage, that has to be paid on the first, so that's going to be on the first paycheck. Like car payments, they're due towards the middle of the month, so that would be the second paycheck. And you just keep on going down your list. At the bottom of the list, I have totals. And then I put a formula in there to take away you want what your payment was, like how much money came in, take away all your expenses, and how much money do you have left over. The idea is to have $0 left over for that paycheck. So that means as you're going through, if you're getting a negative number, you might have to move it to the next paycheck and be like, oh, kind of play with it to see where your money needs to go and when it has to go there. And then the other thing I wanted to say, I had a thought, wait for it. Did you hate it when that happens? Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh, and then if you have more money in your account, right? If you have more money in your account that is left over from your check, you need to go back and say where that money is going to go. Okay? So it can go to, if you have all your expenses are paid, maybe it's going to saving, actually wait. Savings if you're on baby step 1. If you are on baby step 2, that is going to be your debt snowball. And we'll talk more about that. Probably in another video because this is getting long and I don't want it to be too long. So anyway, we're going to focus on 2 baby step 1s, right? So the $1,000 you make and creating your financial plan. And as you're creating that financial plan, so you're telling your money where you want to go, you're either doing it like however you want to do, on paper, Excel, the app, Every Dollar app. Okay, now when you get, let's say you get bonus or you get tax money back, like any unexpected revenue, I do the same thing, right? It's not just free money. You got to tell that money where to go. So I bring up another worksheet on my Excel and say, okay, where am I going to put this money? Is it going to my debt snowball? Is it going into savings? Is it going into like a Christmas birthday fund? Or you just need to tell that money where it's going to go. Okay. And let's see. Unexpected expenses. So unexpected expenses, if it is an emergency, then you would use your emergency fund. Or let's say like your car breaks down, right? So you want to have like different funds, putting money in there that way, like for the car, let's take the car for example. oil changes, right? Regular maintenance, but then things happen to the cars, right? So you want to figure out how much do you normally spend on your car and put a little bit more aside. So let's say, okay, I spend $30 every 30 months. So that's 4 times a year, $30. That's $120 a year. Now I spend on oil changes $10 a month. $10 a month, put money into that fund. If you have a hard time keeping money separate and keeping money in the bank for that, take out the cash and put it in an envelope, mark it car, okay? So that way, when you go to get your oil changes, you take that envelope with you and you can pay for it in cash. Now, you might want to be putting, if you have the funds available, putting away a little bit more, say $20 or $30 a month, so that way there's a little bit of cushion there if something happens to your car. Same idea with Christmas and birthdays. See how much do you spend in a year for Christmas and birthdays or any other gifts, right? Weddings, graduations. Try and average how much you spend a year, okay? Divide that by 12 and put that much money away each month so that way you can pay cash for these things. Christmas is not an emergency. Birthdays are not an emergency. You know that these things come up every year, right? Kids' birthday parties. You know, how often do they come up for the kids getting invited to birthday parties? You know, figure out on average how much that is that you spend. And then put that in a fund. Either, I know banks, you can even have a separate fund, like named gifts or Christmas or whatever. So if that works for you, that's great. Some people it doesn't work. You can put it into, again, an envelope. Or you can buy gift cards. So let's say you always buy your gifts on Amazon or Kohl's or wherever you buy your gifts, right? Buy those gift cards each month. So that way you can just put them away. And then when it's Christmas time, you just take those gift cards and go shopping. And it's just like taking cash. Okay. That is a lot of information. So I want to stop there for this video. So get $1,000 in May, create your financial plan. If you have questions, please reach out to me. I will try and help you the best way I can. Again, this is my own personal experience. I am not a financial planner. Dave Ramsey has a ton more information on his website. I encourage you to check him out. He has a radio station, podcast, great books. He has a financial planning university. That's why I went to. I think it's like $125. 10-week course. They're all over. You can find them to go to. You go to a class, you watch a video, then there's group discussion, and you guys are encouraging each other to get your financial plan and out of debt and to financial freedom. So I definitely check those out. And we'll talk more about what to do next after you have those things done. But I hope this was helpful. I'm also thinking people like to see the Excel spreadsheet that I do. I'll get a template for you. Really simple. Like, you guys are going to probably look at this and be like, that's it. You know, nothing fancy. It's super simple. But if it helps you, great. So I will get that out to you as well. So thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. And as always, you can look me up on Facebook at McNulty Coaching Services or McNultyCoachingServices.com. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.